Macon, not for good, had taught us what it is like being homeless and living in hostels, but we hadn't discovered why it is like it is. So we decided to draw up a list of questions and take them to the local council for some answers. Our first question was about how tough it was for Jessica to get her place in the hostel. She told us that the process was really strict and unfriendly, and we wanted to know why. So we asked Steve, who works in the housing department at Merton Council.
What the housing officer has to do is to confirm that the information that the young person is giving is actually the true picture. Because obviously a council home or a place in Hall Place is a somewhat sought after commodity, and the council's got to be sure that only those in the most need get offers of assistance.
Oh, so that's why it's so strict, you have to find out the truth.
It's partly about that somebody is telling us the true circumstances, because, you know, it is a fact that some people, not just young people, all people, don't always tell the truth about their circumstances.
Our next question came from noticing that lots of young people living in Hall Place have been there for more than a year. So we asked why teenagers get stuck in there for so long. Why can't the council just move them onto a council flat?
Merton has one of the lowest housing stocks in London. We only own about 6,500 properties. We only let about 20 to 30 properties every month. A young person cannot really expect to walk in on, let's say, the Monday and get an offer of a council home by the Friday. And the problem's made more difficult in as much that in law, a young person under the age of 18 can't hold a tenancy. So effectively, if you move into Hall Place at 16 and the council does decide that it has to offer you a home, you could actually remain in a hostel type environment for at least 2 years till you're 18. So that's an awfully long time.
So if you're 16 and homeless, by law, you're going to have to stay in a hostel for up to 2 years. Living there for so long made Jessica afraid and depressed. So I asked if the council did enough to help teenagers feel more comfortable.
It's understandable that Jessica would feel vulnerable, because it's probably an environment that she might not be familiar or comfortable with. And in a hostile environment, there's a range of people that she's having to learn to live with. It's likely to be very difficult, but we do our best with what we've got. But nonetheless, Hall Place is not a replacement for living at home with your family. You're stepping away from your parents' support, so you're now responsible overnight for your own cooking, your own cleaning, your own washing, paying your own bills, and how you relate to other people. For the young people that find themselves homeless, that move isn't planned, and I think that's the important point.
After speaking to Steve, we realised that hostel life is hard for homeless teenagers because they have usually left home all of a sudden and have become more responsible for their whole life overnight. This is quite scary, considering Jessica told us that many of the young people she met in Hall Place didn't really have a clue about money or training for jobs. So he next went to see Susie in the benefits department to find out what money homeless teenagers can expect to receive and what the council is doing to help young people manage their finances.
The actual benefits they would be eligible for would be very, very low, I'm afraid. Income support, job seekers allowance. I mean, I've got some of the numbers here. Let me see. For example, for somebody, the usual rate for a young person under 18 is only £35.65. It's very difficult. We do actually offer a service of, it's a very small service, very, very new, money advice, so that we can actually help them sort out their money and manage their money far more effectively. But then they'll have other issues, like maybe they want to go into training, they want to go back to college, they want to maybe join an apprenticeship of some kind, you know. That's where I would refer them to Connections, because Connections are a dedicated organisation for young people, and their main job is to assist young people through the systems, various systems. There's so many systems.
We took Susie's advice and went to Connections. There we asked Adam how they help homeless people stay in education and start a career.
It's our aim at Connections to actually try and get, you know, young people into some sort of employment, education or training. We've got sort of what we call a specialist team. Specialists deal with more sort of hard to help, hard to reach young people. As I said before, it's like anything to do with, you know, homelessness or alcohol issues or drugs, or I mean, they're really on hand to sort of help, help those people should they actually wish to receive the help. We'll try and do the best we can, working with all the other agencies in the borough or out of borough. We do what needs to be done. We're almost like the middleman, getting the correct help in for the young person.
So although money is very tight for teenagers and benefits, there are actually lots of services and opportunities for them to get help with their money and training. But it seems to us that lots of young people aren't taking advantage of them. We have noticed during our project that some people in Hall Place seem depressed and unmotivated. We tried to show this in the film by including the character who doesn't get off his bed all day and all night. The point is that homelessness seems to affect people's minds as much as their housing circumstances and makes life a lot harder. So we decided to finish our project by going to Westminster to ask our local MPs about what they think about teenage homelessness and what needs to be done to reduce it in the first place.
You've just asked the most difficult question of the lot. I mean, because I'm certainly not here as a Conservative politician telling people you must run your life this way. But what we need to do is to give advice. Some of it is about better parenting. Some of it is about telling teenagers, London is not the land of milk and honey. And I think there's some harsh realities, and I think quite a lot of it is about counselling, support, mentoring, and also understanding that it's very tough on the streets.
You can always do more. While there is one young person who's in an unsuitable hostel with not a good lifestyle choice, there's more to be done. But the fact that connections exist, the fact that young people who do have a bit of a hard time have a special connections advisor to see them through it, the fact that schools are getting better in terms of qualifications and picking up options for young people are all things going the right way. Always do more, but the young person also has a part to play in this.
During our project, we've learned that leaving home unplanned and having to live on benefits in a hostel makes life very difficult and can limit a young person's options for the future. It's not just that you have no money. Homelessness gets you down and it can affect the choices you make at a really important time in your life. More than anything, we hope our film will make teenagers like us more aware about the reality of leaving home so they can make an informed decision about it. If you would like more confidential advice about leaving home or any other issues, then you can call Connections on 080 800 13219 or visit their website at www.connections-direct.com. We hope you've enjoyed our film and would like to say thank you to all the people who helped make it happen. Here they are.